I like bargains, mullets, and action figures. This guy fits in the center of that Venn diagram. This is Longshot from the Uncanny X-Men Marvel Legends. As you can see here, I got him for a grand total of $6. Here's the thing. My comic book knowledge comes down to very basic. Saturday morning cartoons, MCU stuff, and any sort of supplemental thing that I was researching before going into the next MCU film because everything's so interconnected that it's confusing. So this guy was part of any of the Marvel animated series from about the 1990s to like early 2000s. I might have seen him, but I don't remember him. Just the design of this character screams 80s, 90s, so I had to get him, had to open him up and see what he's all about. At the very least, there's a satchel accessory that I can include in my collection. And I was going to say some hand accessories to use for maybe some other figures, but there's only 4 fingers on them. Might be a little hard to sell. Alright, let's open them up. There we go. This takes me back to the good old days of those retro cards where you have to kind of peel the back off. Alright, there's just some box. Here's the figure. Alright, there he is with all of his accessories. He's got the satchel here, as well as his knife. It can fit in a sheath, and in fact, let's do that just to make sure that it fits in there. Let's see which way does it go. I think it goes this way. Let's check all the joints here. So he does have the double jointed elbows. Ooh, those move really nice on the left hand. The right hand is a little sticky. Double jointed knees work really great. Again, on both of them this time. Good range of motion. You can see how far he can kick back. The boots have like a nice leathery look. They do kind of look piratey. Again, we're dealing with a figure though who's probably originated from the 80s, 90s. It kind of fits. And then the neck itself, because he has the mullet in the back, don't expect him to be looking up without doing like an unnatural ab crunch look up. Also, the down is a little disappointing because there's not much there. On his left hand, he has these 3 blades that kind of fit in between his knuckles. And then on this hand, it's just an open hand. We do have the extra hand accessories. We'll get to those, like I said. And then the knife can unsheath. It can fit nicely in his hand. I would say overall, decent start to the figure here. Kind of looks like MacGyver. Let's take him over to the table. We'll get a little closer look at him, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. Here we have Longshot from Marvel Legends, and doing just a tiny bit of research on this guy, he has some association with Mojo and Mojo Worlds. His closed fist has these knives that fit between his knuckles, and it gives you some posability there. I'm guessing the bandolier goes with the character, and it would be something that he would fit in between his knuckles so that he would have more knives to throw. Now, speaking of the bandolier, if I'm able to get it off, we can see what he looks like without it. I'm just kind of curious to see how well this removes, and if this is something that you might want to do with your figure. And there we go. If you don't want to have that bandolier, it removes extremely easily. I had no problems taking it off, and I'm guessing we'll just put it over him like so, and it will snap right back on. Yep. No problems whatsoever. But these aren't his only accessories. He has one of these satchels right here, and it can fit over the character. Let's raise his arm up so that we can kind of get this across. There we go. So that fits over him. And then there are some alternate fist sculpts as well. Let me just stand him up here while I get these a little closer to the camera. There's just a closed fist. And then there's also this dynamic hand with 4 fingers. Posability with this figure is great. Not having really any issues with the joints, but I am noticing that the plastic might be a little softer, a little more different than what I'm used to within the G.I. Joe Classified series or some of the other Marvel Legends that I've handled. We'll get a close-up look at the face sculpt there. He has the starburst over one of his eyes and that signature iconic mullet that tells you this character was definitely made in the 80s and 90s. I don't have a whole lot of information to this figure. I don't have a huge attachment to him. He was just interesting. I wanted to see more about him. So let's just pose him up a little bit and I'll give you my overall thoughts. So there we we have Longshot. For $6, I think he's a decently, perfectly fine figure. I'm still getting my bearings with the Marvel Legends line, but, overall he seems okay. Fairly in line what I would notice and see with G.I. Joe Classified, just with fewer accessories. He definitely is a throwback character. I will need to do some more research. There's enough range here with this character that he will definitely be sitting on my shelf. It was fun opening a Marvel Legends figure, a retro-carded one at that. So what do you think? Should I open some more Marvel Legends figures in the future? You're gonna have to leave a comment to let me know. So that's it for Longshot today. If you like action figures, if you like Nerf, if you like toys in general, be sure to subscribe to this channel to catch all of the updates. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.